Disclaimer. This podcast contains adult themes, adult dialogue, and spoilers. Our opinions are just that, opinions. We are not bashing any of the creators we discuss, and we are not bashing you if you perceive things differently than us. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. It's the 80s, but cocaine isn't the only drug that's popping off in the city of New York. In a city where there are various gangs, the biggest threat turns out to be a violent, mind-controlling drug named banana fish. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Story and Things, a storytelling podcast. I'm your host, Yajaira.
I'm your host, Cheli.
And today we are finally talking about an anime. Thank God. We've been
on something.
We've been on
a fake dating like
on a fake dating. Yeah, for real. I mean, just two, but yeah, two is too much.
We're going to be talking about Banana Fish, a very famous anime in, like, I guess LGBTQ communities.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about this anime.
You did, and you know what's funny? When you told me about this anime, I thought it was going to be like a cutesy banana fish.
That's so cute.
I thought it was going to be super cute. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was definitely not this.
Not this.
It wasn't a freaking
dude, you know what, too?
Packed.
Because, like, I watched this anime with Niles. She was also not prepared. She's a very emotional person.
Yes, I remember. She watched literally the ending with us.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Well, yeah.
Oh, my. Okay. Just, like, as a little preface. This is our second time filming for Banana Fish.
Yes. The first time we filmed it, it was like 5,000 years long. And also we were wearing black. We were in mourning. But then the file got...
But now it's morning. So we're wearing yellow.
The file got corrupted, so that's why we're doing it again.
But I'm ready.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I'm ready. I'm so excited to talk about this. I think I want to start off with talking about the creator a little bit.
Okay.
So the creator is Akemi Yoshida. Mm-hmm. She is a 64-year young woman who made her debut with a short story called A Slightly Strange Neighbor. And she's always been known for, like, crime thriller. I mean, Banana Fish is a crime thriller.
It's pretty thrilling.
Yeah, it's a super old anime, but it was adapted by MAPPA, which, like, they adapt, like, Attack on Titan and Chainsaw Man, which is coming out. They're known for, like, pretty good animes. So when they adapted this, damn, it went off. It went off. It was so big. Because I remember there used to be this girl I hung out with in college who she was super into this anime. But when she talked about it, because she would watch really cutesy animes.
So this one was different.
Yeah, but she never told me what it was about. She was just like, you should watch it. You should maybe watch it. And I was like,
watch it a little bit.
I'm not into cutesy animes.
I'm not into anything cute, okay? Thank you.
Shut up. She never studied with me again. But, like, I kind of want to start off kind of explaining what Banana Fish is. All right. Because the beginning of this, like, show starts off with, like, people in war. And they're
in the Vietnam War.
The Vietnam War?
I think so.
The
manga is different, so if I'm getting it wrong, it's probably because of that.
But I know that when they're in this war, they're, like, looking for someone who had been missing.
He was just gone for a long while.
Like, went on a bathroom break.
And they were like, man, he's peeing.
Did anyone give him milk? Griffin gets really upsetty with...
a little bit of milk. Yeah. Who gave him that?
Who gave him milk? They're, like, super angry. But he comes back, like,
looking a little hollow. And his eyes fucked up.
Yeah, and he's, like, whispering banana fish.
Banana fish. That's all he can say at this moment in time.
He picks up a gun and just starts shooting everyone. So just to let you guys know, banana fish is a drug that looks like cocaine. And it's a hallucinogen.
Yeah, so it's a powdery substance. The effects of the drug include sporadic behavior, savagery, aggression, destructive behavior, increased blood pressure / pulse, pupil dilation, self-destructive behavior.
Yeah, and it sucks because this character, Griffin, it looked like he was, like, a lab rat. You know?
He was, for sure. The drug is altered within the story to kind of lessen the violent effects,
Yeah.
but it's still a mind-controlling drug.
Yes.
So if whoever gives it to you wants you to do something aggressive, you will. So
Yes.
yeah, like you said, it's like a
hallucinogen.
Yeah, there you go.
Halum-
yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about our characters. I really only want to talk about 2.
Yeah, there's so many characters.
There's 7,000 characters in episode 1. So
good luck.
Our main character is Eiji.
No. What? No, it's
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Eiji.
Okay, this is
Eiji
this is actually
the
the final. Whatever. He is not.
We start fighting.
No, they're fighting. We're fighting every episode.
Ever since that John Ambrose McLaren episode.
I can't come back from that. But okay.
So
our main character is apparently Ash.
It's Aslan Jade Callan Reese. He's mostly known as Ash Lynx.
I love that his middle name is Jade.
Me too.
Yeah, but his name is they call him Ash.
Mm-hmm.
And he
is our protagonist.
I guess.
I mean, to be debated, apparently. And he was involuntarily involved in this life of crime since the age of 8.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
What were you doing at the age of 8?
Crying.
I think the
Barbie.
I thought you said crimes. And I'm like, oh my god, me too.
Twins. Can you imagine? No, Barbies.
Barbies. I think the only crime I ever committed at the age of 8 was when I was at like the grocery store and I didn't know that you weren't allowed to take the candy. So I took like a little one and
I thought it was complimentary.
And I told my mom that I took it and she made me walk back and apologize. But I was like, I'm going to jail. Like, I'm not gonna make it.
They're gonna eat me alive in there.
Please tell my sister I love her. Please tell my brothers, hey.
Please tell my brothers this is their fault.
I know.
So, yeah, he's involved in this life since the age of 8. But then at the age of 11, he's taken in by this notorious mob boss known as Papadino.
Papadino? No tan divino.
Tan divino.
Oh my god.
Golzine. God, it feels like I want to say Goldine.
Okay.
You know, Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, love it.
Love it. And he, disgustingly enough, Ash became his favorite slave. And I'm going to say this now, trigger warning, because this story
involves a lot of
child P word. Yeah. It's
a lot of R word and a lot of essay.
A lot of it. And it's mostly Ash. The poor boy.
Really sucks because they describe him and he looks like a very pretty face.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy.
So, like, at a young age, he was abused.
Mm-hmm.
And it really sucks that this has become a norm to him, so it doesn't even affect him anymore.
He's just like, at some points, he uses it to his advantage because he can seduce these shitty people and then get an upper hand on them.
Yeah.
So once we start this story, this journey, if you will, he is 17 years old.
Yes, and his personality is very, very not trusting of other people. Mm-hmm. And he's just, he kind of like, I don't know if I'm saying this right, so correct me if I'm wrong. He like demeans himself.
Like, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Like, he's willing to do things only because he knows he can get his way with things. I know you just said that, but like, it is very, very obvious when we first meet him that he's like that.
Because he knows that he can get an advantage over these people. But also, he's very talented. He's very talented with combat, with guns. And we also learn that he manages other gangs.
Yeah.
He manages other gangs because of his charisma and his intelligence. Mm-hmm. And he seems to always be 3 steps ahead of all of his antagonists.
Yes.
So he's gained a lot of enemies.
Yes. So our deuteragonist, apparently, I would call him our protagonist, but I don't know.
Protagonist to you.
Our protagonist point 2 is our boy Eiji. Eiji. I love him. He is 19 and he is a Japanese college student who is actually traveling with another man whose name is Shunichi Ibe, who is here in America to interview Ash and just like the gang life, I guess.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
I want to interview gangs.
Yeah, why not? Oh yeah, he's a photojournalist.
Do you think that's kind of like that wouldn't happen? No. That would not happen. I don't think the news outlets are allowed to talk about gangs.
I don't think so either. No, they usually don't. They're like, what gangs?
Okay, I've never heard of a gang in my life.
Gang? What gang? Yeah. No, I don't think it would fly. But, somehow he gets in contact with Ash. Or someone who gets in contact with Ash for him. And they set up a meeting to have this interview.
While all this is happening, Ash, there's like a scene of him. He like goes into an alley and sees like a man just
because,
like
gang life,
like a normal Wednesday, you see a man dying and it's like, oh my god, again, and he like picks him up.
Not another one.
No. He's just trying to save him. No, but the guy whispers banana fish.
Yes.
And then says an address.
Okay, so the guy's name is Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson gives him a necklace, and at the end of the necklace is banana fish, which Stephen Thompson stole the last remnant of banana fish. So banana fish was created by accident, okay? Oops, my bad. So whoever created it, they don't know how to create it again. So this last remnant is important. Very important. So Stephen Thompson gives this last piece of banana fish to Ash. Ash takes it, and why does he care? Why does he care that he says banana fish?
Because that's the same word that Griffin said.
Yes.
And Griffin is his older brother.
His older half-brother.
Ash's older brother. Oh my gosh. And by the way, because like we see Ash go home with like this necklace of banana fish and his brother is at home and he's like
in a vegetative state.
Yeah.
And all he ever says is banana fish.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
So of course he's trying to figure out how this connects to his brother. And Papadino, no tan divino. Yeah. He starts asking Ash, like, oh, did anybody sus talk to you? And so Ash is like,
I mean,
every day.
A really bad joke. Like, only when I play Among Us. Papa.
Yeah. So then that's how he knows that Papadino is somehow involved.
Yes,
with this. And so Ash, I don't know where he hides banana fish. He hides it somewhere. And then he figures out that Papadino and his men
care.
Because
they ransack like his entire place.
They're looking for banana fish. And the reason why he cares is because he can use this to manipulate everybody else and have them work under him. So he's a really bad person. Okay, that's why.
Ash just wants to figure out how to help his brother. It's so sad. But okay, we're taken to the present time where this
is present.
Where we see Ash and Eiji first meeting for this interview. And by the way, there's this little kid. His name is Skipper.
Yeah. Skipper.
Skip. Like the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Skip. I think it's Skipper.
He calls him Skipper.
No, yeah, it's Skip.
But then he sometimes says Skip. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway. There's this boy who's like really sweet. He's like literally looks 10 years old.
He's a child.
Yeah. And he's in this freaking gang life.
He's in this life.
Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll introduce you to Ash. Just be careful.
He's so sweet too because also Ash really cares about Skip.
Yeah.
He's like the only person he really cares about. Well, one of them.
But I mean, like we said, Ash has a very like not trusting personality. But as soon as he meets Eiji's just kind of a kid. Like he's 19, he's older than Ash, but he acts like a child because he's like, oh my god, you have a gun?
Yeah.
Can I hold it?
Let me touch it.
Can I touch the gun? Let me hold the gun.
Give me your fucking gun.
I know. Oh my god. Here you go,
bitch. Yeah, but also because he's okay, like we said, he's from Japan. There are no guns in Japan, according to Eiji. Or at least not, just around him.
Yeah, and like in America, you can find them in the corner of the street.
Yeah, exactly, for real. And so Ash, I think, can see the innocence in his eyes.
Yeah.
So he's just like, whatever. So he hands him his gun. could have been shooting up the place.
I know. And Eiji's just like, oh my gosh, it's so heavy. It's heavier than I thought.
I love it.
And he hands it back and he's so considerate about it. He's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for letting me hold your gun.
And everybody around is like,
oh my god. Is that Ash? Like, he would never. Ash? Last time I asked Ash if I can borrow the salt, he took my pinky, bro. Like, that's not Ash. Oh,
he's been possessed.
But okay, this is such a cute scene, but as soon as like things are going okay,
shit hits the fan.
There's a shootout. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you need to remind me because I don't remember the names, but there's a shootout and it's the opposing like gang.
Yeah.
And the guy...
It's not the opposing gang.
It's just a gang.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We start fighting.
Oh, it's a friend. Not a friend.
Not
but
a friend.
Because Papadino has like... well, Papadino has like, you know, a bunch of people under him.
Working under him, yes.
And there's another guy whose name is Arthur. Mm-hmm. And Arthur, low-key, kind of looks like Ash, except like not as handsome.
I thought you said he looked like Goku. Remember when you were like, put a picture of Goku, put a picture of Arthur. Same guy. You literally wanted us, Niles, and myself to morph a picture of them together. And I was like, what?
I forgot I said that.
Thank you.
Arthur shoots up the place.
Okay,
because...
Well, let me give a little bit of a backstory for Arthur. Just a tiny one.
Okay.
So Arthur used to be the leader of all of the gangs that Ash is controlling now. Did it say controlling? I don't know.
No, I guess like leading.
Yeah. So, but then Ash called for a duel.
Yeah.
Which,
is a huge thing. It's kind of like to show who the real like superior one is.
Mm-hmm. And he ended up winning over Arthur. And remember, he fucked up his hand?
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really. His hand is fine. He's just freaking overreacting.
A little bit. Yeah, it literally looks like a little like scratch, but apparently he can't pull a trigger anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so that's Arthur, and Arthur's pissed.
Yeah, Arthur's like, you messed up my finger. I'm gonna mess up your fucking life.
Yeah, but Arthur is actually supposedly working under Ash now. Yeah, but he's betraying him.
Because Papadino wanted to know if Ash had banana fish, mm-hmm. So Arthur went to go kidnap Ash. Mm-hmm. And while he was kidnapping Ash...
he kidnapped
Skipper mm-hmm. in order as like a ransom.
Yeah.
But while he was doing that, he accidentally also kidnaps Eiji.
It's not an accident.
It's kind of an accident. You know when you put your hand around someone, but you accidentally also put your hand around someone else, and it's like, I guess I'm married to both of them.
Oh my god.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That happens all the time.
I'm married to several people. But...
Okay.
I can't get over the Goku thing. I'm still thinking about it. Ash runs out and tries to shoot at the
Oh my god, car. I love this scene.
Yeah, because his
shot was like
headshot.
Yeah, his headshot, yeah. So okay, yeah, so
good.
They put Skip and Eiji in the back of a car, and then it's like two people holding them on both ends, and he ends up shooting the back of the head of one of the antagonists. Oops. And so then Ash ends up going to wherever they are, and he gives himself up, essentially. So now they're torturing him. But Skip and Eiji are still there. Yeah. Being held hostage. Yes. And then what happens?
There's another guy who's there. I don't remember his name. You remember the big guy? What's his name?
Honestly, he's not even important.
There's a big guy who's known Ash for a really long time.
And he has seen, because they used to film Ash getting abused.
Child pee.
Yeah. And so he would watch them, and he would even say like, oh my God, miss those days.
Yeah. It's disgusting. He probably took part in it too, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. And Ash was like, okay, I'm going to use this to my advantage. So he starts like kind of seducing this guy and gets the upper hand.
So he beats him up.
Yeah, he beats him up, and they run, and this is the part I was telling you about. They run, and then they crash into a wall. Ash is like, A wall? I can never.
Well, okay, he's really hurt at this point because he was tortured.
Okay, I guess.
He was tortured. But he's thinking in his head that, you know what, I'll just give up Banana Fish because he wants to save Skip. Because he doesn't know Eiji yet,
At
really.
all.
So, I mean, sure, maybe he does want to save him, but it's mostly Skip that he wants to save.
Yeah.
And this is when we find out, you know what, Eiji, our boy, he ain't useless. Not at this point. And so he literally pulls this like pole that's like attached to the wall.
And it's funny because Skip is like, oh, hell yeah, we're going to fight our way through. Hell yeah.
He's like,
it's a little 10-year-old. She's like, put someone in front of me. But like,
exactly.
But like, Eiji's like, I used to be a pole vaulter.
Yeah.
So I can do it. And he's like, well, you don't even know what's on the other side. And
he's like, there's not a mat on the other side, bro. But it's like stressing them both out. They're like, don't do this. Don't do this. But he ends up doing this. And this is when Ash just looks at him like,
oh, damn.
oh, damn.
Because he saw him. He was basically flying.
He was flying, yeah. Over the wall.
Yeah. And then you hear him land. And it's like a bunch of boxes. And Skipper's like, oh my fucking God, he's dead. But you hear Eiji and he's like, I'm going to go get help. I'll be right back. And he leaves. But while...
And he gets help.
Yeah, but I mean, while that's happening, Ash and Skip are left behind with that big guy who, you know, is gross.
Yeah.
And also Arthur is there, right? Because there's like that whole like fight.
Yeah, okay, so Ash does have another friend. His name is Shorter Wong. He is the leader of the Chinese gang or Chinese gangs.
Yeah.
And he pulls up because he's like, gotta save my boy. And so whenever they pull up, they start like shooting everybody. And also the police show up. Okay, so the big guy, the really disgusting big guy, is about to shoot Ash because his mentality is like, if I can't have you, no one can, right? Because he wants Ash, but he's also pissed because he can't have him. So he wants to kill him. And Skipper, which is that sweet 10-year-old boy, he's behind this disgusting man. So it's Skip, this gross guy, and then Ash on the other end. And Skip calls out for Ash, and that's when the disgusting guy turns and shoots him, kills him. Yeah,
right in front of Ash.
Right in front of Ash. And Ash is obviously heartbroken because he loves Skip. And he's like, he goes after this guy to kill him. But then he ends up dead. And Ash is framed for it.
Oh, yeah, because he's immediately taken to prison.
Yeah, he's immediately taken into prison. So everything that's happening is happening because Papadino wants him to stay in prison because he wants to keep an eye on him because he knows that he has Banana Fish. So he's like, you know what? As long as I know where he is, then I feel content. I feel good, right? So he's in prison. That's where he meets Max Lobo.
Oh my God, my favorite character.
Is he really?
Yeah.
You literally said Eiji was.
Okay, but now that he's not the protagonist, I don't care. I don't associate.
Okay.
Max Lobo. He is actually he was one of the soldiers who worked alongside Griffin.
Yes. So he was the one that was close to Griffin when that was happening.
Yeah, and we figure this out because while him and Ash are like getting to know each other, which isn't great because Ash literally just all he has to do is stand there and guys will be gross around him.
It's so infuriating because I get it, he's a pretty boy, but like why is everyone disgusting? Like everyone wants him, everyone wants to take advantage of him. So it's yeah. Okay, anyway.
But you know, like he's having a horrible time, but Ash is like also like mentally having a horrible time because he actually had left Banana Fish with a doctor. His name is Dr. Meredith. And he has the remnants of Banana Fish along with his brother Griffin there.
Yeah, so Griffin is with Dr. Meredith and he's kind of like watching him. Also, the doctor's trying to figure out the components of Banana Fish because they want to know like what the hell is in this.
Yeah.
And so
okay, hold on. I do want to bring up, too, that the relationship that Max and Ash have is kind of built off of guilt in the beginning because Max feels really guilty that he couldn't help Griffin, who apparently was one of his best friends during this time. Because he shot Griffin. And that's why...
I mean, he had to.
Yeah.
He was going crazy. Yeah, he shot his legs. to stop him from killing everybody else.
Yeah. So Ash does not really like Max, but there's not really much,
Not much to do about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're in prison together. They can't really request to, like,
Ash is kind of stressed because he knows that eventually Papalino will figure out who has banana fish because he has so many men working under him. So he wants to find a way to get it away from Dr. Meredith's hands.
But I mean, how's he going to do that if he has no one that he trusts,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he allows these other guys in prison to beat him up so that he can go to the nurse's office. And he asks for a capsule.
It's so horrible, too. I'm sorry. I don't... It's like they're gross with him.
Yeah, they're gross. For sure. Everybody is gross with him. It makes me so angry because I feel so bad for him. Mm-hmm. So he asks for a painkiller, which is a capsule. It's like the ones that you can open,
Yeah.
So he opens it. He puts a little letter in there, a little tiny one.
Yeah. And he's like, I got to get this out,
Somehow. Exactly. So what's the best way to get it out?
Well, okay, wait. Can you explain one thing to me that I don't really understand? Max Lobo had actually been keeping a correspondence with Eiji and Shunichi. But that's because Max Lobo also knew Shunichi before.
Yeah.
I think it's because they used to both be journalists.
Yeah.
Together,
I think so,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know,
I think so. I don't know.
They know each other in that weird realm of things. So there is a moment where Ash and Eiji meet again. Mm-hmm. And it's because...
So they're visiting.
They're
it's
detention
Eiji,
center. Yeah.
Shunichi, and a police officer. Who I believe his name is Charlie.
Yeah.
Or it could be the other one. I don't know.
Doesn't really matter what their
Who
names
cares?
are. Yeah. But they're visiting.
When they say goodbye, Ash kisses Eiji.
Yeah, and freaking it's funny because
tongue and everything.
I know Shinichi's like watching and he's like, that's like Eiji's first kiss. Like you can tell by the way he's like, that man standing.
He doesn't even know how to kiss.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on right now.
Poor Eiji though, he looks so flustered. Anyway,
he did.
He immediately excuses himself to the bathroom afterwards, and so he sees the capsule in his mouth, opens it, and he's like, "Find Shorter Wong."
He's like, "What the fuck is
this? What the fuck is Shorter Wong?"
Yeah. So, but Eiji's so good because he wants to see this to the end. He wants to be helpful. Mm-hmm. So he goes to Chinatown? I think that's what it is. So. And he goes into this restaurant and asks for Shorter Wong. Mm-hmm. And it's such a dumb idea because he says it so freaking loud.
Okay, but keep in mind that he's not a part of this
Where's
world.
Shorter Wong?
Shorter Wong, hello?
Banana fish?
Yeah.
Banana fish.
You got it. Banana fish?
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh my God. Everyone's looking at him. Mm-hmm. But he asks.
He's not a part of this world, okay?
No, he's not.
He's like, what?
But Shorter Wong is there.
Yeah, he's in a disguise.
Yeah. And he is told, or he tells him that Ash sent me to get to you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's to check if Banana Fish is doing okay. And if Dr. Meredith... No? Okay, I'll shut up.
Does it? Okay. You know what? The details don't really matter.
He instructs him to find Shorter and tell him to get whatever he gave Dr. Meredith and keep it somewhere safe.
Yes, but then they end up with Dr. Meredith and Griffin, right?
It's because Eiji wasn't supposed to go. Remember? And he went anyway.
Right. And then who pulls up? Arthur and his men. And the doctor... What was his name again?
That was his name, Dr. Dawson, wasn't it?
I don't know. Whatever. The Dawsons. So, two brothers created this monstrosity of banana
Abraham
fish.
Dawson.
Okay. So, was that the bad one?
Let's call one Evil Dawson and the other one Good Dawson.
Mediocre Dawson, more like
Evil Dawson, super evil Dawson. Because, look, two brothers created Banana Fish, and like we said, it was by accident. Mm-hmm. But one of them
was just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, they actually wanted to make a banana fish slug, and they just couldn't. They did not succeed at all. But the thing is, one Dawson brother was like, "We need to stop because this is scary shit that we're dealing with."
So they agreed to destroy everything, but the bad Dawson,
the eviler Dawson,
kept that remnant that Stephen Thompson ended up stealing. So that's okay. Anyway, so the evil Dawson is also there with Dr. Meredith because they pull up. He's with Arthur. They pull up and they're like, "Give it to me.
Give it to me." And the thing is, Dawson is kind of stunned. Because while he's, doing that, Griffin stands up because he recognized Dawson.
Yeah, so Griffin was actually in a room but Griffin.
It was behind a curtain, basically.
Yeah, I think so. And then he sees him, and he's saying banana fish, but he also almost starts to say his name.
Yeah, which is like that has never happened.
Because he's the one that gave him banana fish. He was his freaking guinea pig. Yeah. And so he's like, trying to say his name.
But out of fear, evil Dawson shoots him.
And kills him. So
no one wants to tell Ash.
No.
That his brother's dead. So the one who has to do it is, of course, Max.
He doesn't have to do it.
But no one else wants to.
Well, no one wants to because they know all hell's going to break loose.
Yep.
So Max Lobo ends up... I don't know. Do you think he did it because he was like, you know what? I already feel guilty.
That I shot your brother's leg. I'm sorry, but also your brother's kind of dead.
Your brother's like dead, bro.
He's like, yeah.
And so he tells him that he's dead.
Your brother's like dead, bro. Like,
so like whatever.
Yeah. Damn. Bad vibes.
Honestly, I don't even want to talk about it. This is bad vibes.
It is. Okay, but Ash loses it.
Ash loses his mind, but he waits.
Yeah, he does.
Remember? Somehow they get him out of prison because, for good behavior or whatever.
He's really good.
He's really good.
Really good.
And they're like, okay, but like no more crimes, all right?
He's like, fine. I won't kill unless I have to. I'm sorry. But, he's like kind of down.
Yeah.
He's like kind of down still. Uh-huh. He wants revenge.
Hella. And he's like, I'm gonna fuck somebody up.
Yeah, whoever did this, creator of Banana Fish, fucking dead. He's gonna be dead. Mm-hmm. The thing is, too, no one knows that Ash knows that Griffin is dead. And that Ash also knows that Papadino has something to do with it. Mm-hmm. He's the only one that has this information. So he's quiet about planning his revenge.
Yeah. He's strategic, always 3 steps ahead.
And Eiji, because he's the true protagonist.
No, he's not.
He wants to just insert himself in this. And he's like, I'm gonna help you.
I wouldn't say insert. I would say help.
No, he
wants to help.
Eiji's being like that person when you like invite someone to a party. And then the other person's like, oh my God, wait, we're going to a party?
Stop. No. Actually, okay, we actually kind of.
Kind of. But he does. It's because he feels like since he saw it from the beginning, he has to see it through to the end.
It's not just that, but he also feels guilty.
Yeah.
Because he kind of was like not careful.
Shorter Wong.
Hello. Banana fish. He feels guilty, so he ends up driving or helping Ash drive away, one or the other. Yeah. And so they are driving off to the sunset, trying to find Papadino. Right? He's trying to, because he wants to kill him. Remember?
Yes. And he also wants to ask him about the whereabouts of the Dawson. He just wants to figure out how to freaking get revenge for his brother, basically. Mm-hmm. A lot happens. I mean, Ash crashes into his father at one point. We don't have to know that much.
His father was fucking trash.
He was.
He was trash.
Thing is, his father was also like, I love my son, but also I don't care what happens to my son. He's a trashy man.
He's a trashy man because, like we said, he got into this life of crime from the age of 8 because he was being abused by a coach.
Oh my God. What a freaking heartbreaking thing to see, because Eiji came from a family where like they cared for him, and to see like someone, because he can see how composed Ash looks,
but he's broken.
He is, and it's sad. I mean, it doesn't really last because they end up finding out that Ash is there and there's a shootout. Remember?
This one doesn't really matter that much.
I just wanted to bring up the reason Ash's dad, because Ash's dad's
girlfriend,
wife, dies, and it's kind of Eishi's fault.
I don't really remember that part.
I don't know. I didn't really see a point of the dad as a character, and we didn't gain much from that interaction.
Except that he, as an Ash, doesn't really have anybody. He only really had Skipper, his brother, and Shorter.
Oh, by the way, Shorter's on this journey with them.
Yeah, so they're going on a journey to find out more about Banana Fish.
Yeah, and they finally get to
that address, right? That address that Stephen Thompson gave him.
Yeah, and
which was in Los Angeles.
It was like a house that apparently belonged to a Dawson, and they meet. Because while they're there and they're kind of like just snooping the house,
no, they get there and something is happening. Remember? Because then Li Yulong is like,
Wait, what? Who?
whatever, who cares? He's like on the ground. He needs help. Remember?
Yes.
And the servant's like, oh my God, he needs help. And so they help him.
And they ask who it is, and Li Yulong, whose name is Li Yulong, says that they're a Dawson's son.
Yeah, so he's
son.
an adopted son, but not really. Okay, we'll just tell you now.
But I mean, they go to this house just so that they can hack the computer that's there to see if they can figure out anything about Banana Fish.
Which they do.
They figure out a lot. While they're at this house trying to figure out about Banana Fish, there's a moment where Ash is like trying to hack the computer because, he's so good at everything. He's also a hacker.
Yeah. Oh my God, fun fact.
Fun fact. He's everything. The Dawson son, which is Li Yulong.
Spoiler alert.
Comes up behind Ash, and Ash is like, oh my God, what are you doing? How dare you?
But because he's basing it off of his footsteps, and he says, your footsteps are sus.
So quiet.
Because they're really light. Unlike my boy Eiji.
Because the thing is, like, you can tell how observant Ash is, because at this point, Eiji pops up behind him, and Ash doesn't even...
No, he doesn't even really react. He's kind of like, oh.
That's Eiji's footsteps.
Yeah. We're not even there yet.
I know. We haven't even reached anything yet.
Nothing
but okay.
pivotal. Also, Shorter Wong does leave momentarily because Ash told him, hey, you know what? That guy, that adopted son, is a little sus. He's a little sus. Do you mind finding out more info on him? So Shorter Wong leaves. He meets up with a friend, and then another Lee person, okay, just so you know, another Lee person shows up, and he tells him, hey, change of plans. I'm going to need you to keep an eye on Ash. Because
it sucks.
You know what? We're going to have to betray this man. And he's like,
that's my boy.
Ash?
It really sucks, too, because Shorter Wong also does not trust Li Yulong, but because they're part of the, like, Chinese gang, they all have, like, the solidarity between each other, and it sucks. And not to mention, there's like this moment where Shorter Wong is talking to the Dawson son, Li Yulong, and says like, "Oh, you remind me a lot about
Eiji.
You look and remind me."
Because they're both like pretty boys.
Yeah. And look very innocent. But okay, while all of this is happening, no, he's not. While all of this is happening, all of a sudden, for some reason, Max's ex-wife is in trouble. We don't really have to get into it. So Max and Ash leave because they want to go save, Max's wife. But
it's a setup.
It's a setup because as soon as Shunichi, which is the interviewer that's with Eiji, as soon as they're left alone, Li Yulong is like, okay, Shorter.
Mask off.
I know, Shorter, you gotta put these boys down. And like, oh my God, this scene is so freaking sad because while Shorter is doing this, because he gives them it's a needle that paralyzes them.
But they're still aware.
Yeah, they're still aware of what's going on, but they can't move. But it's so sad because Shorter is like, talking to Eiji while this is happening, and it's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I just know that I didn't want to do this. And I really, really care about you guys. I did not want to do this.
And I feel like we should already explain Li Yulong because I think it's getting a little confusing.
Dawson son, Li Yulong.
Li Yulong.
So there's no Dawson son.
Yeah, he's obviously just there pretending. He is actually a part of the Lee clan.
Yeah.
Which the Lee clan is above Shorter's authority, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously,
yeah,
they're telling him, you got to betray Ash. You're a buddy. So the Lee clan is this really powerful mafia. And it makes up Li Yulong and his two brothers. So it's Li Wanglong and Li Hualong. Okay. So those are his brothers. So just so you know, they're this really powerful clan.
Yeah.
They're working alongside Papadino Golzine because they know about Banana Fish.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why they're trying to target Ash and stop him from finding out more about it.
Yeah.
So they take Eiji. Shorter goes too. Shunichi Iba stays behind. They take him away, and then that's when Ash and Max, it's just those two, right?
Come back, and Shunichi is on the
couch, just paralyzed.
Oh my God.
And then somebody else shows up. The other Dawson, the not
The-
as evil.
Not as evil, but still not super great to have at your parties, Dawson.
Yeah. He shows up and he actually tells them about Banana Fish. He tells them, hey, my bad, bro. I accidentally made it with my brother.
Yeah, it's the whole banana fish slug. It doesn't work. Don't try making it.
Stop.
No, but yeah, no. They talk to him and he tells them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, what does he tell them?
He basically tells them how it was made, but that they don't actually know anything about.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The actual components.
And Shunichi says where Eiji is, and Ash.
Don't they come and take them? Because they end up locked up.
When they get to Papadino's place, Eiji is taken to Papadino's room.
That's not the right. Okay, yeah.
And they're just kind of like, oh yeah, if you want to have your way with him, go ahead. But then also Lee Lung, the one who was pretending to be a Dawson son, because he's so pretty, they're like, as a sign of our gratitude, like from the Lee clan, you can take Lee Lung too if you want.
Yeah, the brothers are Lee Lung is actually a half sibling to the other Lee brothers. And they're just giving him up, kind of like a prize. You know what? He's yours. But then before they separate, they tell him, hey, keep an eye out on Papadino Galzin because they want him to find out everything about Banana Fish.
Oh my gosh. And this is such a scary scene because I thought that Eiji was going to be R-worded.
Yeah, because they're in his bedroom.
Yeah, they are. And they're not dressed.
They're not dressed, no.
Oh my God.
But something happens and
Papadino has to leave and he puts in a key code to get out. And freaking Lee Lung is like, okay, I got it.
I know exactly what the code is. Yeah.
Yeah, 235.
Obviously.
It's 1111. No, but
so basic.
Lee Lung sees it and gets out. And Eiji doesn't, right? Because Eiji isn't he tied up?
Yeah, he's handcuffed.
Yeah, he doesn't get out. And they come back for him.
So the evil Dawson is there. And we find out that he is really sinister, way more sinister than you would expect, because he is trying to figure out how your brain works under Banana Fish.
So now the super evil Dawson, he just keeps getting worse. Villainous Dawson is like, you know what? We got to test Banana Fish, just like to show Papadino and also a bunch of like politicians.
Yes, because Papadino is trying to show them like, oh, we can use this against other countries, right? Like we can influence
political figures to say certain things.
Exactly.
Or get like soldiers to fight wars.
So, he has a bigger picture here. It's not just about him, although he wants to be on top. Shorter is tied up and unfortunately he is given Banana Fish and they grab Eiji and they show him to Shorter and they tell him, this man, you need to kill. You need to kill this man. And like we said, it is a mind-controlling drug. And whoever gives it to you or whoever is around you, I suppose.
Who tells you
what to do. If they tell you to do something, you have to do it because your heart's like, it's erratic if you don't do it.
It's also like a sense of death, right? It was something like that. It feels horrible. Like you have to. You can't fight it.
Yeah, and exactly. And then the evil Dawson also says that even when you do complete whatever task you're given, you still feel those exact same effects, and that's why it's self-destructive because eventually you'll just end up hurting yourself. So it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter that he does it or doesn't do it.
So Ash, Max, Lobo, and Shunichi end up arriving and they tie them up in kind of like this arena type of area.
Yeah, so it's on because there's freaking dirt on the ground, right? From what I remember.
It's very ancient torture type of things.
Yes, because there's big pillars.
Yeah,
too.
And they're held up by chains with their arms up.
Well, just Ash.
Oh yeah.
The other ones.
Shunichi and Max are on the floor tied up.
They're on the bottom floor, but then there's a top floor kind of overlooking the bottom floor. And this is where Papadino wants to show off the effects of Banana Fish. He's showing them off to these important politicians or whoever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
He's showing them this is what we can do with this drug if, we use it against everybody, whatever. So who is running this besides Papadino?
It's the other Dawson.
Yes, but Arthur is also there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Because remember, Arthur
Goku.
has Yeah, Goku. He has this vendetta against Ash for winning the duel. And so he wants to make him suffer, and he tells him, oh, we're going to fuck this up for you, you know? And that's when they bring in Eiji. I don't know if they bring in Shorter first or Eiji. So they each get their own knife.
Yeah, and then they're just like, fight. And
Shorter is compelled. He has to.
Yeah, and he's not even himself anymore.
No, it's not.
He is just so, like...
driven by this drug. It's not even him anymore.
And it sucks because you can tell Eiji does not want to hurt Shorter. And he tries to talk to him at one point, too, but, like, nothing is going through.
And it's so sad because Ash cares about Eiji at this point.
But he loves both of them.
Yeah, he loves both of them. And so he's trying to get Shorter to snap out of it. So he's yelling his name.
And he's even giving advice to Eiji, like, you have to evade as much as possible. You know, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, like, do this, do that. But Eiji is scared. And, you know, Eiji isn't about this life, right? So he doesn't know how to survive. And so, of course, he does get cut up.
Yes, he does. There's a second where Shorter kind of snaps out of it.
Yeah, because he hears Ash scream his name. And so he, like, somehow gets himself to snap out of it.
And looks at him. And all Shorter says is, like, you just got to end it for me.
Just end it. Please, just end it. And he's, like, begging. Even though he was able to snap out of it for a second, he still can't win over this drug. So he's telling Ash, just end it. Just end it.
And it sucks because they throw a gun.
Arthur
throws a gun at Ash's feet.
And he tells him there's only one bullet. So don't fuck this up.
Yeah, so like
he pulls this lever
that lowers him enough to grab the gun.
And he immediately grabs it.
And shoots Shorter.
In the heart. Because Shorter is on top of Eiji and he's ready to freaking strike him in the heart. And that's why Ash shoots him in the heart. And it's like the most heartbreaking scene I have ever seen in my life. Because he's crying, Ash. And he's so heartbroken, but he knew that he needed to save Eiji. But also save Shorter because, you know, Shorter's not himself anymore. You know, he's being compelled. And you know what? I thought this was going to be the worst of the worst. Like,
I thought so too.
Can it get any worse than this?
Yeah, because I mean, evil Dawson.
Then it did.
Evil Dawson is like, okay, fight's over, so I'm going to actually collect Shorter's body.
And analyze his brain.
So open up his head and see what's going on up there.
Yeah.
So they take him away. And they take Eiji away too.
Yeah, so they basically lock him up again.
Yeah.
And later on, Ash is still locked up in that little dungeon-looking place. And who shows up?
Liet Lung.
And he somehow got a key to his handcuffs. And he hands him the key. Or no, he puts it somewhere, right? That he can reach. And Ash ends up getting that. But it's sort of like this, like, I'm helping you now, but, like, we're also enemies, okay?
Yes.
Number one, enemies. And so he ends up freeing himself.
Can I just say, though, that Shorter is very respected in the
Chinese gang.
In the Chinese gang of his area. That he's been gone for a bit. And I mean, now, you know, he is dead. But he's been gone for a bit. So they actually send someone to go check if Shorter's okay.
Well, it's the whole group.
You're right.
It's a whole
but
group,
the leader of this group is
Sing.
He's 13.
So Sing is the one who was right below Shorter. So he doesn't know it yet, but he's the new leader now.
Yeah, he does. Oh, you're right. He doesn't know it.
He doesn't know it
He
yet.
goes to help.
To break out Shorter because they don't know that he's dead yet.
And, you know, Ash is still over here trying to find Dawson.
No, he's trying to find Eiji. Okay, so he saves Eiji first. And there's
he's like, help. And
yeah. Not even. There's like a lot of
shooting.
Exactly. There's a lot of shooting going on in this moment because everybody's, you know, going crazy a little bit. And so he saves Eiji, and in this moment he lets Eiji stay with someone from the Chinese gang. Don't remember who.
Someone trustworthy.
Yes, and he's like, watch him. Okay? Yeah. Watch him. And so Eiji stays with them, and he's like, I'll be back for you. Don't worry about it. So then Ash goes back inside because he's determined to get Shorter back. Or, his body.
His body, because out of respect.
Yeah, out of respect because he did love him.
Oh my God.
That was his bestie.
But when he goes to where the villainous Dawson is.
The villainous.
It doesn't even show Shorter. But it's like implied that he's opened up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
And it sucks because the evil Dawson is so like, he's so excited. It sucks because he's so like, oh my god, yes, I'm about to fuck shit up. And then Ash literally goes berserk. He freaking shoots the evil Dawson and keeps shooting
Hella
him.
goes off on him. He
empties his gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's only a few instances where Ash does this out of pure anger. This was the first instance.
Yes, because Ash, you know.
But you know what sucks? I know, I'm great. But you know what sucks?
What?
That all of this was going on and he, out of respect, lights Shorter's body on fire because he at least deserves a proper, like...
death. Or not even just that. He also doesn't want anybody to mess with his brain.
Yeah, exactly. But Singh
pops in and he's like, God. Is that my boy?
Wait, is that my boy? Is that my slightly toasted boy?
He's like, wait, I recognize those sunglasses, bitch.
That was his boy. Yeah. But the thing is, Singh was like, did you kill Shorter? But Ash doesn't answer because it's a long fucking story. And Ash was like, it's barely Wednesday, bitch. It's
been a fucking day saying, you know what? Don't ask me shit. Yeah. So he doesn't tell him what happens.
But it's assumed that
he thinks that Ash killed Shorter. And so he's like, you know what? I may be smaller. I may be younger.
He starts rapping the Never Say Never by Jaden Smith. Like, he's bigger than me, taller than me.
So yeah,
he's like going hard, and then Ash is like, "I'm gonna go."
I'm just go. Yeah, but anyway, can we skip a little bit because this is a very complicated story. When you think the end is near, it's not.
It's not near. We can skip around actually to episode 11.
Aw.
So Ash and Eiji, because Eiji is so set on getting revenge and just killing all these people involved.
Eiji.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa, imagine.
Eiji.
Ash is so set on getting revenge and killing all those people involved. But also he does not want to get rid of Eiji from his side because he does feel that it's safer to have Eiji with him.
Because he thinks that only he can keep him safe. Because also there are people who are targeting Eiji to get to Ash. So they want to hurt Eiji.
But don't you feel it was kind of selfish of him too to want Eiji next to him? Because Eiji had plane tickets to go back to Japan.
But he didn't want to go back to Japan. Hold on.
I know he didn't want to, but he should have.
But he didn't want to.
Okay, good point. But he also should have, is my rebuttal. But no, I get what you mean. Because
you know what? There's this thing called free will.
You're right. Free William. They're at Ash's hideout. And I want to talk about this moment because like this is the first time in the anime where Eiji and Ash have like a moment of friendship. Like it felt so like, okay, they've been friends, but it's like a weird, like, what type of anime am I watching? This feels like a cutesy anime.
Yeah.
Because even the music was like freaking more lighthearted. Upbeat. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Talk about how you're scared of pumpkins, bitch.
Yes. Oh so it is revealed that the only fear that Ash has is fucking pumpkins.
Because of like something that happened in Halloween. But I just think it's really cute. Like we learn a little bit about him. And even Eiji mentions that like, damn, we're like still teens.
Yeah, we're kind of young.
And Ash is here going through a lot.
So also in this moment, they have this really vulnerable moment together. Mostly Ash because he's someone who has had to deal with so much fucking bullshit in his life, unfortunately. And it sucks because Ash is constantly having to go through these people who are trying to take away his autonomy. And we know that Ash isn't superhuman.
Yeah. Just start crying with you.
Because in a lot of stories that are similar to this one, a lot of the times the protagonist is able to just fucking brush shit off and just freaking walk around like he didn't just get beat up.
I remember you said you really liked that because like when Ash gets hurt, he slows down. That's how you said it.
Yeah, he's actually slowed down. He's not this superhuman person. He's He's just human, you know? He's a 17-year-old boy. He started crying. Okay, anyway. If he's hurt, stabbed, tortured, wounded, whatever, it's very evident that he's slowed down. So in episode 11, they also have this moment together, and it's revealed that he has nightmares. He has a lot of nightmares.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think it's super important is because, you know, everybody sees him as this like badass character.
Never scared of anything.
Not scared of anything.
Yeah.
Always 3 steps ahead.
Yes.
And he is sleeping with Eiji, but like in twin beds.
Yeah.
And Eiji notices that he's having these constant nightmares. And there's this moment where he's actually like, he breaks down. He freaking cracks, bro. And then Eiji is comforting him.
Mm-hmm.
And Ash tells him that there's so much blood on my hands. When he was abused, when he was 8,
Yeah.
he says, I didn't feel anything. But he is also breaking down while
because he's saying I'm emotionless, but
he's also like
showing emotion.
Yeah, it's almost like you may feel this, but your body is actually finally reacting to how you actually feel. Yeah. So he's breaking down and he's crying and he's telling him like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything when I killed that man. I don't feel anything when I killed Shorter. He's just telling him that he doesn't feel anything. So he's left crying, and Eiji consoles him and he tells him like, you are feeling it. You're feeling it right now. And that you're not a bad person, because he reminds him that Ash saved Eiji. You know, yeah, he does these horrible things, but he has saved him. I think at this point, like 3 times.
And even with Shorter, like, yeah, he killed him, but he also saved him from living a life
of being under banana fish.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't himself, and he did beg for it to just end. So he did liberate him from that. And it sucks because Ash also tells Eiji, like, if he could just stay with him. But it doesn't have to be forever, but just, like, stay with me. And I think he just really needed that moment of feeling that he's not entirely alone. Yeah. Because he lost Skip. He lost his brother. He technically lost his dad. Well, I mean, he's not dead, but, like, they're not together. He doesn't have a mom. He doesn't really have anybody. Oh, and then he lost his best friend, Shorter. So all he really has is Eiji. But, of course, he does care about Eiji as well.
Yeah. So at this point, Ash goes from merciful to merciless and is just killing left and right.
Yeah, he's trying to kill all of Golzine's men because obviously they're targeting Eiji. So he's like trying to get 3 steps ahead, but also Eiji is pissed. Like, he's upset.
Because he notices, because he doesn't want Ash to kill anymore, but Ash is coming home every single day with blood.
Killing bitches.
Killing bitches. When he's going through all of this killing, Arthur, I don't remember how it gets to this point, but Arthur asks for a duel.
Ash steals a lot of money from
Papadino. A lot of money.
A lot of fucking money. So,
like, think about an amount of money. It's like more than that.
It's fucking double it. Okay, so Papadino has to leave to deal with some affairs. So he leaves Arthur in charge. And Arthur...
Yeah, you're right.
You know what? Arthur's like, I'm gonna fuck his life up.
Oh my God. And it sucks too because because a duel is supposed to be hand to hand or whatever you agreed to.
Yes.
And Singh wanted to watch, I think. Singh was there too.
I think Singh was just there for moral support. I don't really necessarily remember.
But Arthur hella backstabbed because they were going to fight at a Subway and not a Subway.
Not the sandwich
kill
Subway.
You, but I also kind of want a foot long. But like they were gonna fight in a subway station, and freaking Arthur brings like 7,000 men, and is like, so, "You're about to die, bitch."
Yeah, he really fucking hates Ash. But okay, so, because a subway starts coming, it starts rolling. But
what do you want on your sandwich? She's running towards you.
Ash hears it before it comes, so he's already like, oh shit, he's about to fucking betray me. So he hides, and from inside of the subway train there's a bunch of people in there, a bunch of people that are loyal to Arthur, and they start shooting at Ash, and he ends up getting inside, and then it goes. So he gets inside, and so does Arthur.
Eiji is at home in the hideout, and freaking Ash's henchmen that really like Eiji are like, oh fuck, we gotta tell him.
Yeah.
We gotta tell him where Ash is.
Yeah. Well, because remember, Eiji was supposed to
leave to Japan because they bought tickets for him
to leave with Shinichi Ibe, but they were like,
no.
Nah. Well, Eiji ends up escaping, but they didn't really try that hard to stop him.
No, because they were like, oh no, by the way, the fight is right here.
By the way, the fight is in the subway. Okay, bye. Yeah. Exactly. So he ends up running and he's heading towards the subway train, but at that point, the subway train is already moving.
Yeah.
So the henchmen find him and they're like,
the fight's over here, bitch!
Let's go. Vamonos. And so they end up going. And while they're in the subway, Ash has this memory because he thinks he's gonna die. He has this memory of the time where he had a conversation with Eiji. And the conversation took place after an argument that they had about the killing, you know?
Yeah, because he kills too much.
He be killing people left and right, you know?
He has a conversation about a story he had heard about the snows of Kilimanjaro. Mm-hmm. And specifically about a leopard that was climbing Kilimanjaro and was very close to death. But for some reason, this leopard kept climbing. Mm-hmm. And it was just very unlike the leopard to do. Because you would think when an animal feels like they're not going to make it,
they would just go back or
stop. But this
or hide or find shelter or something.
But for some reason, this leopard kept going.
And it ended up freezing to death.
Mm-hmm. Ash says this. He asks, did the leopard get lost while hunting prey until he reached the point of no return? Mm-hmm. Or had he climbed higher and higher as if possessed by some urge and collapsed trying? Either way, he must have known that he wouldn't be able to make it back. When I think of my death, I think of that leopard.
I feel like Ash knows that the more people he gets rid of, because, you know, he's constantly having to save Eiji. It's not just Eiji, because he was already in this world, right? But it is a lot having to do with Eiji in this time. So the more he attempts to rid the world of these horrible, horrible people, the more that it affects him mentally and physically. And at the end of it, he knows that he won't be able to turn back. Like, there's no way that he's going to be able to kill all of these people and then be able to be the same person that he was before.
And it sucks so much because he wants to be free from this.
He really
like
does.
So much. But then he can't because there's so many people targeting Eiji and he can't like justify not protecting him. Because Eiji has not done anything wrong
to warrant this fucking abuse, because he knows that people want Eiji to suffer the exact same way that he did.
Yeah.
Literally, this whole series is just Ash attempting to free himself from all of his oppressors who keep freaking piling up.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't help either because now Li Yat-lung is reintroduced into the story.
He never left,
but he's so upset because he hates Eiji.
He hates him so much because he does not understand why Ash is constantly needing to save him.
Or even cares about him. Like, why he's even there.
So because of that, he's like, I'm going to have to fuck this guy up.
Yeah, so I'm going to hire an assassin.
Yeah, Blanca. He didn't hire him.
Yeah, he hires
Papadino hired him.
Oh, you're right. Papadino hires him, but for some reason, Li Yat-lung just like is kind of in it for the fun.
No.
Let's be around and fuck around.
No, they're working together because remember, Li Yat-lung tells him, hey, let's work together, okay? We can target Ash and Eiji, and then you just have to kill my family for me. Okay, thank you. Remember, he says, get rid of all of the Lees, and it'll just be me.
By the way, the whole Lee family is disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
Because
the father,
Li Yat-lung's mom, biological mom, was apparently very pretty. So there was just one point where the father and all of the sons R-worded the mom. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they killed her.
Disgusting. That's disgusting.
In front of Li Yat-lung. So that's why he's also really fucked up because of that. So he has always wanted to get revenge for his mom. But he's also not he's not a good person either. So Blanca is introduced into this story because he is the only formidable foe for Ash.
Because he trained Ash.
Yeah, he was the one that trained Ash when he was 14. Well, Ash was 14. And he's there trying to fuck shit up, right? Because he's working under Papadino. Exactly. But Li Yat-lung is also working along their side. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up only because Ash knows that it's Blanca because he leaves like a little clue, a little Easter egg, if
It's
you
like
will.
the Ernest Hemingway story.
The book, that he used to read. There's this moment in time, they're living in a condo right now.
Yeah.
And he opens up the blinds and Eiji walks inside of the room. So, sorry, Ash opens up the blinds and Eiji walks inside of the room and he's behind Ash. And Ash always has these like instincts. It's almost like his spider senses are tingling.
His spidey senses.
Exactly. And then he's like, oh shit, like get down. And then fucking Blanca on the other side of wherever he is starts shooting in and he's only targeting Eiji. He's not targeting Ash at all. And I love this scene because Ash literally throws himself on top of Eiji. That's love, bitch. When Ash finds out that Blanca is involved, he's like, fuck. Because he knows that Blanca is the only person who can really
fuck shit up
for him. So he agrees, you know what? Enough's enough. I'll go willingly. Just leave Eiji alone. So he goes to the warehouse where these 3 fucking assholes are, which is Blanca, Papadino, and Li Lung.
And that's where Li Lung gives Ash a gun and is basically like, if you shoot yourself, we'll leave Eiji alone.
If you kill yourself, yeah.
Yeah. And
that's the only way to save him.
He does it without hesitation.
He literally took that fucking gun and...
It's empty, bitch!
He put it on his temple.
Yeah.
And shot it, but there was nothing in there.
Oh my god. And that made Li Lung furious.
He was so pissed off. He was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, but...
For this, bitch?
But Ash gives himself up.
He also gives up everything that they have collected on Banana Fish. Ash took all of the information that Max Lobo had collected on Banana Fish and he's like, you know what, just freaking leave Eiji alone, just leave him alone and you can have this and you can have me. So he is with Papadino Golzine at this point.
Yeah. Ash is living a hell because he's basically drugged up.
He's drugged up and he's living off of
IVs of food.
There you go.
And I also know that they've drugged him up to the point where he's blind, so he won't
know where they're going
at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it really sucks because Eiji knows what's going on. And so does Sing, because Sing wants to help. Because it's a situation that sucks. And by the way, by this point, Eiji has kind of described what happened with Shorter to Sing.
No, Shorter finds out through Liu Lung. Liu Lung just tells him.
Sing really likes Eiji and is willing to like help him out, help Ash. And so they really want to help Ash because like there's like they can see what's happening to him and he looks freaking miserable.
Yeah.
So they plan to break in to Papadino no Tan Divino's place.
Yes.
While there's like a party? I think it's a party. It's like a gathering. A little get together.
Yeah.
I love that. I like this scene a lot because even though Ash is drugged, he immediately recognizes Eiji's voice. But this scene also really freaking sucks because this is the closest that Eiji has ever gotten to killing someone.
Which he didn't,
but he could have.
But he didn't.
He could have, though. Because, like, the thing was, Papadino was right next to Ash. And, you know, Eiji saw Ash and screamed Ash. And Ash was like, oh my god, my boy, he's here. Eiji shoots at Papadino and is able to stun him. I think he just shoots him in the arm.
Or in the shoulder.
And they make a run for it. They like fight in the subway for a while. I'm trying to skip ahead.
Yeah.
They fight in the subway for a while. They get into this like hiding spot, which I think is the Chinese mafia's hiding spot. Right? And while they're here at the Chinese mafia, people aren't too keen about having Ash around.
Yeah, but it's mostly just one person because
it only takes one though.
It only takes one because Li Lung is trying to infiltrate on these members that are with or around Ash, and he's telling them like, why don't you just like shoot him a little, like, no, but not Ash,
which
Eiji.
Really sucks too because that's Li Lung. It really sucks too because all of this is going on. But also remember, Sing is the leader of this group. And there's a moment where Sing has a little breakdown in front of Ash. Do you remember that? Because he's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, he's 15 and he's dealing with this shit.
The reason why he's having a meltdown also is because between this and breaking Ash out, they steal or they abduct a few members of his
Oh,
gang.
yeah.
And so he's like, I have to go save them, obviously, because he's the leader. And so it'll look bad if he doesn't do anything for them. So he's like, oh, I have to go save them. And so he's feeling really overwhelmed of his position. So he does have a breakdown with Ash, and Ash is just kind of like, you just
It's a
kind of
sucky job.
So yeah, you just gotta do it. I don't know what to tell you, friend.
I am gonna skip forward a little bit. What?
We skipped the fact that he killed Arthur.
Oh! Goku's dead.
Oh yeah. So we forgot. Okay.
By the way, that Subway fight at Subway, Eat Fresh, Ash did kill Arthur. So Arthur's fucking dead.
It was disgusting because remember, Arthur licked the blood off his knife, and he was like, delicious. Delicious.
It tastes really good. Is that type B? But like
favorite.
Okay, but I do want to skip forward.
Yeah. So anyway, because we forgot to mention that.
Yeah. So there's a moment that Ash and Eiji have on a rooftop, and it's really cute because Ash is going through so much shit, and Eiji's like, I mean,
get over it.
But also, he talks about how when he went to America, his sister gave him a good luck charm.
They're in America.
Yeah, that's why when Eiji went to America, his sister gave him a good luck charm.
Oh, you mean
to take with him? Yeah, before he came to America.
Okay.
Gave him a good luck charm, but he was like, it's kind of useless though, because she gave me a love charm. And it's kind of like, damn, you're with your boy though.
It's not useless.
It's not useless. And it sucks because they continue to have these moments. There's this moment where like, because throughout the story at this point, Eiji keeps bringing up, why don't you just move to Japan?
Yes,
like over there,
he keeps mentioning
guns.
it. He keeps mentioning it like you can just leave this life behind. Yeah. No guns, like you said.
No guns, all funds. You know?
Funds, but with a D.
Oh my gosh. So then like at one point, Eiji is teaching Ash.
Yes, while they're in their hideout.
Japanese. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's just teaching him words, and he's teaching him goodbye, which is sayonara.
Oh, he's teaching him the basics.
Yeah,
but then he teaches him sayonara.
He teaches him goodbye.
They're sitting across from each other on a table, and he's teaching him how to say sayonara. And so Ash's back is to the door, and the door is open, and that's when the two Chinese gang people that Li Lung was trying to compel to kill Eiji, they pop in and they start shooting, but Eiji thinks that it's for Ash, so he immediately shoves him away to protect him. And it wasn't for Ash. It was for Eiji.
It was for Eiji, and Eiji gets
shot,
and it's
a critical spot.
Yeah, and immediately is pulled away.
He just falls.
Yeah, but he's taken away because he's not gonna make it.
No, yeah. But before he's pulled away, this is the second time that Ash loses his mind because he immediately kills the one closest to the door, but the other person is like running out down the hallway, and he chases after them. Literally no hesitation at all. He's like feral. Yeah, for real.
All force.
Exactly, for real. And he literally empties his gun again on somebody else. Mm-hmm. He literally keeps shooting him. And he would have kept shooting him too, but then Sing sees him and he stops him. He's like, dude, chill. Like, calm down. Okay, so this shit is happening, right? Eiji does go to the hospital.
And it sucks because like this is not just like a fight that happened. This is now like the position of gang leaders. Like, okay, the Chinese gang just messed up.
Yeah.
Like the trust that we had with Ash. So Sing is like,
but like Ash wasn't gonna do anything though.
No, he wasn't.
He wouldn't have done anything.
But Sing is very like
by the book.
He's by the book, and it's like people are gonna say something. And it's so embarrassing that my men did that to you. So we should have a duel.
Yeah, so Sing talks about a duel. But he also does it because he needs Ash's help to get his men back, you know, the ones that were abducted.
But for his men to do that, it's kind of like, first we have to have this before that happens.
They agreed for it to be after.
We'll fight after you help me.
After we get my men back, then we'll fight. But somebody else is there as well. So Sing actually has an older half-brother. Mm-hmm. His name is Lao Yantai. And Lao Yantai has never been down for Ash. Like because he knows that he killed Shorter or had something to do with it. So he feels like Sing is not only betraying Shorter, but betraying all of them for being so loyal to Ash. And when he sees that, oh, they're going to have this duel, he gets mad. And he's just like, no, like, what are you doing? Why are you going to do this? So he ends up leaving out of rebellion, right? Because he's sick and tired of Singh not being his own person, essentially. But, like, honestly, he should mind his own business.
I know. I know you're my half brother, but you're really being a half bother right now.
Oh my god.
So shut the fuck up. But Lao Yantai leaves because he's just sick of it.
Sick of it.
So Ash, near the end, knows that he has to fuck shit up. Mm-hmm. So he goes to the hospital to say like a final goodbye to Eiji.
A final sayonara. And he's crying.
Yeah. He's crying because that's his boy. Oh
yeah, he says goodbye to Eiji, which Eiji is like knocked out at first, but he's hearing him in his unconscious state. He's like, who's saying goodbye to me? Anyway, so then Ash is leaving the hospital room and Eiji is fucking pulling himself from the wall. Like he's holding onto the wall and he's like, wait, don't go. But they don't even really get a moment together because somebody is like running down the hallway because Ash is a wanted man.
Yeah, he is. So, it sucks because as soon as they see him, the two officers in the beginning who don't matter, start running towards Ash. And even though he wants to help Eiji, who is like freaking crawling on the walls,
Eiji still tells him, just go. Just
leave.
leave.
You have to go or they're going to catch you. Yeah.
So like they say goodbye, but like it wasn't a good one, you know?
Nope, it's not a good one.
Okay. Anyway, let's just get to the end. What happens at the end?
Oh my god!
The parking garage.
Did we even talk about Colonel Fox?
No, because he doesn't matter.
Okay, there's a freaking final fight with this old ass man called Colonel Fox, who is disgusting and had his way with Ash at one point of the story that we didn't really mention. But the only reason he did it wasn't because of lust, but because of power over Ash, which is disgusting. But they have this final fight.
It's at a parking garage.
It is, but the only thing we have to mention is that Ash does win, but he was really close to dying, but only survived because there was one bullet that helped him, and it was the bullet from Papadino's gun.
Papadino. Okay, so Colonel Fox betrays Papadino. Therefore, Papadino wants to get revenge on Colonel Fox. Colonel Fox is fucking fighting Ash, and then Colonel Fox thought he killed Papadino, but Papadino ends up shooting Colonel Fox dead. And Papadino is holding his gun towards Ash, but he is like already like dying because he's losing a lot of blood.
So he just falls off the edge.
He falls off the edge of the parking garage and dies.
But the thing is too, who's holding, because while all this is happening, the briefcase to everything about Banana Fish is there. Mm-hmm. But Singh is also there.
Yeah.
So there's
a lot happening.
There's a part where Ash basically has to choose to either save Singh.
So Singh is holding the briefcase. And somehow he ends up falling, but Ash grabs him.
And it's off a building, like a high-ass building that will get you killed.
Yeah, the parking garage has a lot of levels to it. And I think they're on the very like high, one of the top ones. And Singh falls and he's holding the briefcase to everything that has Banana Fish. Like everything in there is in this briefcase. And Ash grabs Singh and he tells him, just let it go. Because he'd rather save Singh. And I just find it so, it's like sad. But it's like nice to know that even through all of these freaking tribulations, he is still a good person at heart. Because he could have let Singh die. Yeah. And by the way, they still didn't have their duel.
They didn't.
They were set to have a duel.
And it like, even like thinking about it logically, that the mafia group, the Chinese mafia group has fucked him over. Mm-hmm. So he could have
just, just shove him off.
Singh's a kid.
Yeah.
And I think
but so is Ash.
That. Yeah, but I mean, Singh's 15.
Oh, also Ash did have a birthday throughout this. He's 18 now.
Happy birthday, Ash.
Happy birthday, thank you.
But okay, he does end up choosing Singh. And
but there was enough information that was leaked because people had videos of child pee.
Yeah.
And that was leaked. That politicians had these videos. So that was enough to kind of, kind of like ruin their lives.
Stir the pot. Yep. Yeah. But we're taken to the end of the story. And Eiji is getting admitted out of the
Don't
hospital.
you kind of wish that it just ended there?
That's it. Eiji is admitted out of the hospital.
Uh-huh.
And he wrote a letter.
Yeah, he wrote a letter, but also Singh walks into the room and he says, "Oh,
Surprised that Ash isn't here."
yeah." He was like, "How's my boy Ash?
You know my
been
boy? My
yeah, my boy that saved me,
You know?
Ash. Yeah, is he here?" And he was like, "No, he hasn't come to see me. Do you mind giving him this letter?"
Mm-hmm. And this letter, because Singh is like, "Oh, you know about that," and he like goes to look for Ash.
He finds Ash,
and he's just sitting on a bench.
He's vibing.
I mean, I do that too. But
he's outside.
He gives Ash this letter. And do you want me to read the letter? Because last time I read it.
Sure.
You ready?
Yes.
Ash, I'm very worried because I haven't seen you and I don't know if you're okay. You said to me before, we live in different worlds. But I am not sure if that's true. We are from different countries and our skin and eyes are different colors. But so what? We are friends. Isn't that enough? What else do we need? I'm very happy I came to America. I made many friends here. Above all, I met you, Ash. You asked me many times if you scare me. But I never actually felt scared of you. Not even once. From the first time I met you. Actually, I always felt that you are hurt much more than me. That your spirit is wounded. I know you are much smarter than me and bigger and stronger, but even so, I always wanted to protect you. Funny, isn't it? But what did I want to protect you from? I think I wanted to protect you from your future, because your fate was sweeping you away like a flood. Do you remember telling me about that leopard in the Hemingway book? He died at the top of the mountain, and you said he knew he will never get back down. But I said you are not a leopard and that you can change your future. It's true, Ash, you can change your fate. You are not alone. Ash, I am with you. My soul is always with you. Sayonara, America. Sayonara, New York. But I am not saying sayonara to you, Ash, because this isn't a goodbye. I know we'll see each other again someday. You are my best friend, Ash. It sucks because Ash reads this.
Well, okay, so he only reads...
Are you crying?
Yeah, a little. So he only reads half of the letter, okay? And then he's like, nah, I gotta go find my boy. Well, we can assume, right?
Because also, when he took out the letter, there was one ticket to Japan in there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm. Because he was like, you gotta come visit me, bitch. So he, like, gets up from the bench and he's, like, running. But then what happens, Cheli?
You remember?
You thought, oh my God.
You remember Lau?
You literally thought that someone just bumped into him.
Oops!
But I immediately knew that this story was so fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I knew they couldn't even fucking give me this.
Singh's half-brother
Lao Yantai, the one that was angry and left,
saw Ash and took this opportunity, because he's probably been watching him for a while, took this opportunity to just stab him. And the thing was...
in the abdomen.
But the thing was, it wasn't really fatal. If it was treated properly, he would have been fine.
Yeah, it wasn't like a critical stab.
But the thing was, after he was stabbed, he just kind of went to the library, which was a place that he found like peace in, which is
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
When he was stabbed, he shoots Lao Yantai, but he also doesn't hit him in a critical spot.
Oh, you're right.
And I don't think anything was said in the anime, but in the manga, they kind of insinuate like, oh, you missed my vital organs.
Yeah.
And I think it was Lao Yantai that says, you missed mine too, asshole. But Lao Yantai ends up dying. He's literally on the ground and he just dies. So Ash grabs his letter and he's bleeding, slowly. And then he walks to the library, which was his happy place.
And pause, because while all of this is happening, Eiji is leaving.
He's leaving.
He's like at the airport and Singh catches up to him. And even though Ash was like so set on not seeing Eiji set out, like go out, Singh tells him, oh, by the way.
He says, see you soon.
Yeah. And so now we're taken back to Ash, who's
in the library.
Because this is
finishing that letter that you read. Because he finishes it in the library.
And he smiles and he puts his head down.
And he's
dead.
Vibing.
Dead, but still kind of a vibe.
It's still vibing. So yeah, he's just like laying there, and then somebody from the library, I'm assuming somebody,
Wake the fuck up. This isn't a sleeping area.
This is a quiet zone, but not that quiet. Somebody from the library goes up to him and is like, dude, you good? But like she gets pulled away, but kind of stupid because obviously if he's bleeding to death, he would have left a trail.
But he had a coat.
Excuse me?
Maybe he was just like pulling it all together.
Probably.
And then it's all gonna like end up like bunching up, so it's just gonna
like, release all at once.
Oh god.
So yeah, that's how it ends. In the anime, they really wanted from my interpretation, they wanted it to be more of an ambiguous ending. But no, in the manga, it's very clear that he's dead because they even had a sequel or short sequel that kind of was following Sing.
Yeah.
And we know for sure that Ash didn't make it because Sing kept in contact with Eiji.
And you want to know something that's like fucked up too? There's like a thing that when you are mournful, you don't cut your hair.
And he never cut his hair.
But the thing is though, at the end of that story, he cuts his hair.
I guess that's bittersweet, right?
It is bittersweet.
Because it's like...
Because he's lived his whole life. And he's just like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I guess.
Okay, well, before we talk about this, how do you feel?
Sad.
Still?
Yeah.
I get sad, too.
I get really sad when I think about this story because of what it could have been, you know?
But then, like, have you heard that thing that's like, you're mature when you realize that
you literally said that today.
Ash and Eiji could never be.
Well, then I guess I'm not mature. Thank you.
But I mean, I get where they're coming from because, like, if
Who
you
are you to dictate maturity?
Okay, but hello?
Hello? Who are you, God?
No,
I'm not coming for Jelly. I'm coming for the person who wrote it.
But, like, I get it. Also, because if you think about it, that point where Eiji saved Ash when he was all drugged up and couldn't see, he was so close to killing. And I feel like if he had hung out in America with Ash more often, he would have killed.
But he was leaving to Japan.
No, but if he had stayed.
But he wasn't going to.
No, but okay, but if he did.
But he did it though.
But if he did, I feel like that relationship wouldn't have worked. And even with Ash leaving to Japan, things are gonna follow him because that's just the life he had. He was like, it sucks, but it's like not something you can just leave behind in a second. Yeah. You know? And it sucks because I did want them to end up together. And they...
You're like flipping it now.
Well, I know. I'm
gonna pull up the film.
No, okay. I did want them to end up together. No, it was my sister, remember? My sister who brought up the whole...
She's not here.
She's not here. I did want them to end up together, but I understand that it couldn't be. And
Because it's more of a tragedy than a romance.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks.
It does fucking suck.
But the first time we filmed this, you told me that the name Banana Fish for the anime came from a story.
I think it was actually
inspired.
Yeah,
the
whole thing was inspired. So this was actually inspired by a short story called A Perfect Day for Banana Fish. And Dr. Meredith actually does mention it in the anime. But let me just tell you a little bit about this short story, okay? It's essentially about this man. His name is Seymour.
Whatever. And
he is attempting to return to normality after he is discharged from war. His wife and him are very distant. And even his mother-in-law accuses him of being erratic, even though he's mostly shown as antisocial. He doesn't really talk to the adults.
Yeah.
And the only time that he's ever at peace is when he's with a child. And these moments do have like those types of undertones. He's uncomfortable around adults, so we can only assume that he is trying to cling on to the innocence of children.
Yeah. Because
of the shit that he saw. So let me read this passage from the short story. Got this from Wiki. Thank you, Wikipedia. Shout out. Just kidding. Oh my god, please sponsor us. Okay, so...
Brought to you by Wikipedia.
It says, Seymour places Sybil on a rubber raft and wades into the water, where he tells her the story of the tragic life of a banana fish. They gorge themselves on bananas, becomes too large to escape their feeding holes, and die. Sybil, unbothered. And she claims that she sees banana fish with like 6 other banana fish in its mouth. So then Seymour kisses the arch of her foot, but then returns her to shore where they depart and they separate.
Why did he do that?
Because he's fucking weird. So once he is alone and he's returning to the hotel, he becomes less affable. He starts this argument with a woman in an elevator, accusing her of staring at his feet, and he's calling her a goddamn sneak. He returns to his hotel room where his wife is sleeping or taking a nap, and that's when he grabs a pistol from his luggage and shoots himself. So what was assumed was that he killed himself before he could do anything to Sybil, which I don't know if he did anything to any other children.
He was close, though.
With Sybil.
Do you think the reason that he popped off on that girl in the elevator was because, like, you know, he had just done that to the kid?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was probably feeling like, oh shit, that's weird. Don't look at my feet, you know?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Because I feel like these types of people are erratic.
Yeah.
You know, because they're like probably feeling almost like, I know what I'm doing is wrong, and if anybody can even guess, I'll be fucked.
Yeah. Oh my God. Why do you think they chose this story to name Banana Fish?
I don't know. Well, I guess it's about sacrifice. I can't really say because I haven't read the entire short story.
Yeah.
But
so disgusting, but I kind of want to read it.
I don't want to read it.
I want to read it to be angry.
I don't want to read it to be angry. I'm good.
Did I ever tell you about how in college I took a course where one of my professors used to always mention this one theorist, because in like my major, it was all about theories. Mm-hmm. He always mentioned him. Oh, and I forget how it was brought up in conversation, but some guy in my class was like, damn, you must really like this theorist because he's like in every single thing we read. Mm. And then my professor was like, well, I like his theories, not the theorist. Like, you can separate someone from their work.
Can you?
Yeah, okay. I'm bringing this up only because it reminds me of the story, because that theorist would do tests on kids to kind of test like the psychology behind like the child development and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he was accused because he moved around in a lot of states, mm-hmm. and he was accused of SA with a bunch of little boys. Aww. And the thing is, near the end, he wrote a letter that just said, you're going to hear a lot of things about me, but I didn't do it.
Fucking bitch.
And he took a gun and walked straight into the forest, and they never found him.
Where is he? He's like hiding.
Still walking.
He's like hiding in a fucking cave.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. That's why it's like crazy. I don't know. We were just talking about that too. Mm-hmm. Like, are you a monster if you didn't commit? If
you're like constantly thinking of doing something malicious, are you actually malicious?
Because you didn't do it. But then like think about Ash too, because he does these malicious things, but he's so good at heart and was put like in this situation.
But he was forced into this life.
He was forced into this life, but because you committed these things, does that make you a bad person?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it depends on the person.
I'm like stressing you out, but what if? No, it really does depend on the person.
I don't think he's that bad, you know? Like, they kind of deserved it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
They deserved it.
I get it.
But I don't agree. Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
So every episode had a different
title from a book. Mm-hmm. There was one episode that was named Catcher in the Rye.
The last one.
Oh my God. That makes me so sad.
Because you read it, right? Oh,
Catcher
high school.
In the Rye. Yeah, I mean, we all read it. Did you?
No, I mean, did we all read it?
Did you read it?
Okay, Dora.
That's here now. No, Catcher in the Rye was basically about this character, Holden Caulfield.
Who was fucking annoying.
He basically believed that he was better than everyone else and everyone around him is a phony. Mm. But he always considered himself the catcher in the rye. Which
basically means... What is rye?
Isn't it that type of
like
wheat?
Tall wheat?
Yeah, the tall...
So if kids are running in this rye, which you can't see the kids.
The cat, because they have the sickle, that is like taking down all the rye.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the catcher who is pulling out the kids so that they don't get hurt.
Yeah, but also the cliff, remember? If they're running around in the rye, they can't see.
You're right.
They can't see the edge of the cliff.
You're right. I was wrong.
So he's trying to catch them before they fall off the cliff because they can't see it.
And that kind of parallels to how Ash felt towards Eiji.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want him to
experience his life. So he was always trying to protect him from it. Thank God that nothing actually happened. I mean, actually thank the writer.
Yeah, that nothing. I think that it was really smart to not let anything happen to Eiji. Because I feel like if he would have been R-worded by Papadino
in that one scene,
things would not have been the same for him ever again.
No. He was able to keep his innocence. Kind of. I mean, he still saw a lot of shit.
Yeah, and it's traumatizing.
Yeah.
God, but I think we're done.
Okay, so here are my overall thoughts of Banana Fish. Despite the contentious ending, I do want to say that this anime was life-changing for me. Because it had been a while since I watched anime. And I don't think that I'll ever forget it, to be honest. I was so in love with the characters, well, the good ones. I was in love with the plot. I loved the love, even if it didn't progress in the way that I would have preferred, because it was more of a tragedy than a romance. I love both main characters. I thought they were developed in a very nice and realistic way.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ash was a badass, but, he would still
a baddie.
A little baddie. Anyway. Ash was a baddie, and he was someone who desperately needed to protect Eiji because he didn't want him to experience the life that he did.
Yeah.
Sad. Though the story was more of a tragedy, the fact that Ash was able to find love and keep his love alive makes me see it as a little bit of a romance.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking, but still a beautiful story. I give it a 5 out of 5.
Damn. Dude, is this one of your top animes?
Yes. Well, I haven't seen that many, so.
Okay, but still, the fact that it's able to be a top anime.
Thank you.
That slaps.
That
okay.
slaps. Thank you.
I don't want to repeat what you said, but I feel the same way.
Aww.
I feel like I am also going to think about this anime a lot. I didn't think. Remember the first time we filmed it? I was just kind of like, it's not one of my tops.
Oh,
do you remember?
That changed?
I don't think it's one of my tops, but it's definitely a memorable anime because I constantly come back to it.
It's your wallpaper.
No, it is. Don't expose me
literally
like that.
Your phone wallpaper.
Oh my God.
By the way.
Oh my God. I don't watch anime often.
I don't either.
I don't. I used to, but I don't like some of the tropes that some animes follow. And I feel like this anime it's what I freaking vibe with. I love the story. I feel like it was very well told. The characters are very realistic. They're very, I was going to say relatable, but I'm not about to relate to any of these characters. But they are realistic because they're just human. Yeah. They make mistakes and it sucks, the situation that they're put in. I wrote this a long time ago. Can I just read what I wrote?
Okay.
My issue is the fact that Ash died at the end. I understand that some may view this as a sacrifice that needed to happen, but all I need to say is this. When all LGBTQ lovers don't end up together, it is not that satisfying. However, because the story was strong, I will give this a 4.8 out of 5.
Oh, I didn't talk about the ending. Mood.
You didn't talk about how you feel about the ending?
I didn't talk about how I feel about the ending.
Okay. This is a good place to pick it up then, because I wrote that a long time ago. And
yeah, because this was like the second thing that we filmed.
When we were barely getting into making a podcast.
Yeah, and it got corrupted, unfortunately. So we talked a lot about the ending. So how I felt about the ending initially, the first time I watched it, I thought it was a beautiful ending. And I still feel the same.
But it sucks.
No. I mean, like, the same of what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I thought it was a beautiful ending because I thought, oh, well, Lao Yantai just showed us that no matter what, Ash is never going to be able to be freed from this lifestyle. And I thought that it was a good representation of, oh, there's always going to be somebody, right? But then the more that I thought about it, I didn't really like whatever message it was trying to give me. And we can all interpret it in different ways.
Yeah.
The way that I interpreted it, that was a weird word, but the way that I viewed it was sometimes you just need to give up. And while, yeah, sometimes you do need to give up, I didn't necessarily like how it was showing it because he literally, final sleep, literally gave up.
Yeah.
Because like we said, he could have gotten help, but instead he chose to live his end by bleeding out and reading the rest of Eiji's letter. And it's not even just that I want them to end up together. It's that I want justice for Ash.
Yeah.
It's what I want for him. He didn't have to end up with Eiji. He literally could have just stayed wherever he wanted, and I would have been content. But I didn't like that since 8 years old, he was dealing with this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And then only for it to end up like, yeah, you saved this one character. But, like, you don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not just talking about Eiji. I'm talking about, like, the other friends that he made throughout this lovely journey. You don't know what's going to happen with everybody else.
How they're affected by this and, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, was this really that beautiful?
I just feel like this was written a long time ago. And there's that trope that no gay character ends up with each other. They always end up liking each other, but then they die at the end. And it's like, oh, it's so beautiful because their love was forbidden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's like treated as forbidden love.
I just don't like... That's how this feels like to me. It feels like their love was never going to be...
It's called bury your gays.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the trope. So whenever they have like queer representation, it's never like a normal love story. Not saying that this was a normal love story because it's obviously fucking tragic.
Yeah.
With the action and mafia and all that fucking shit. But it always ends up with somebody either having to sacrifice themselves, somebody fucking dying, or for whatever reason they just don't end up together.
Yeah.
I brought this up last time we filmed this. You didn't watch The Haunting of Bly Manor.
No.
Which that one was fucking good. And everybody loved it. But again, they don't end up together. And it sucks. It's like you make this wonderful story.
Yeah. Why
does it never
end like that?
And at least
But you know what, too? Mm-hmm. I used to listen to this podcast and...
Shout out.
I know. Should I say it? I don't know if I should. I used to listen to this podcast. Okay. I'll tell you their social security numbers later. But I used to listen to this podcast where this straight man wrote gay characters. Mm. But the thing is, he wrote them fairly well for not being someone who is gay. Mm. They were a lesbian couple. They don't end up together at the end and they died. And it was like, oh, but you know what? There were 2 colored flowers next to the tree. And that was enough. But the thing is, like, he did it without realizing it. Mm. It's so, like, ingrained in, like, freaking literature that this is how gay love is supposed to end.
Yeah, but just because it's ingrained doesn't mean it's a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing. Not at all. It just sucks.
Because that's like saying, like, when... You know, like usually before in horror movies when the black character would always die first. That happened a lot. Doesn't mean it's okay. Yeah. Or at least...
It sucks that now it's to the point where it's like it's kind of expected. Yeah. That it's not going to end well.
Spice it up a little bit, you know? Mm-hmm. Have it actually see it to the end.
I really like this story.
Yeah. And we also said that we didn't really realize how often it happens in media where the gay characters never
Can I mention something? Niles is not here with us today. No. But she really, really likes this story. Mm. And I don't remember if it was you or Niles who told me this. But Lee Yat-lung at one point was told by Singh, "You look like the type of person who is going to be assassinated soon." Do you remember that scene? It was like a really tiny scene. Because at the end of the story, Singh actually teams up with Lee Yat-lung.
To make him a better person. Because Lee Yat-lung had a horrible upbringing. Yeah. We didn't really talk about it. But we did. But we didn't talk about his comparison to Ash and Blanca. because they all have similar upbringings.
Yeah.
But they all ended up differently.
Yeah, exactly. Did you know that Li Lung does get assassinated?
No, I didn't.
He gets assassinated.
Why would you tell me like that?
Because he lived his prophecy that he was going to die. All of them lived their prophecy. Like, they chose this life and they all ended up dying.
That sucks.
And in the way that was expected, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I brought that up, but I was thinking about that recently and it freaking sucks.
Damn.
I didn't even like Li Lung.
No, I didn't either, but that's still really sad though.
Yeah. Did you know that I told you like 2 weeks ago that the author apparently wrote another ending with a bunch of fans?
Yeah, I didn't see it though.
I haven't read it either. We should read it.
Right now?
Not right now. It's going to freaking take forever. But
we should read it. It'll be like a bonus episode.
I'm down. Because I need closure.
Wine and read.
Wine and read.
Yeah. Yeah, because this was definitely not closure at all.
Oh my God. I feel drained. Like, I feel emotionally drained.
Oh.
I'm better now.
Oh.
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
I want to say thank you for everyone who stuck around to watch while I finished an entire cup of orange juice.
Orange
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Juice.
Dude, it was strong.
It was really strong.
How are you not like dead?
I'm good.
I'm not. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment, hit that notification bell. I still don't know the lingo. I don't know it.
If you're watching us on YouTube.
If you're watching us on
not,
YouTube. If you're listening to us through Spotify, Amazon Music,
Apple Podcasts,
you're
just
looking up at the sky, and every Tuesday when we Monday, Tuesday when we upload, you look at us like, you know, spell with freaking airplanes in the air. The whole podcast. If you're watching that, please leave a review because that actually does help promote us. The best promotion is by word of mouth. So please tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your aunt. Don't tell your uncle. He does not want to listen to us. But you can tell everyone else. Thank you.
Maybe your grandpa will, though.
You can tell grandpa. You know which one. But okay, I think we're done. We should end with, you know, we roll a dice. And if it lands on a positive number.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, positive. If it lands on a even number, we're going to read a positive review.
Okay.
If it lands on an odd number, we're going to read
I already did.
a negative review. And you know what? We're just going to let it just stay in here.
We're not endorsing whatever this review says. Okay? We're not agreeing, disagreeing. We're just...
Let it be. Go ahead. Exactly. We landed on a 4, by the way. So this is going to be just positive vibes.
Positive vibes only. All right, so this is a review from IMDb, and should I read they don't have names, they have usernames. Should I say their username?
Yeah, say the username.
Okay, well. Okay, so this is from Mana Brox.
Nice.
With a Z. I really felt as if I was watching a Hollywood action/suspense series/movie. It was that good.
It was.
The plot was beyond perfect. The pace, the music, the characters, all perfect. The story moves in such a manner that it doesn't at all feel unrealistic. The faults in human nature is so well explored or say exposed. There are certain things many will not be able to digest, but that's what makes this anime true in essence. It's portrayed well.
That's nice.
It portrayed well what it meant to. The only thing that I found funny is the animation. At times, Ash and some other characters' faces would seem to be so funny looking, but that flaw can be so easily ignored. I would give it a perfect 10 if not for that single flaw. Thank you
so much for watching. Wait, are we not done? Is it not done?
I was just going to say they gave it a 9 out of 10.
Hello. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.